Alrighty, hey guys, what's up? This is Matt Callies from Loon Outdoors. We're with Gig Harbor Fly Shop today, and we are going to be tying the little sparkle dun for your guys' fly tying kit this month. In the vise, I have a size 16 Daiichi 1190. It's a dry fly style hook. Of course, you can use your own style of dry fly hook of choice. So I'm using a 50 denier white GSP. It's pretty much my standard thread that I use, and I never deviate from that thread throughout 90% of time. So this is a little bit of a sparkle emerger yarn. This happens to be kind of like a dun gray. You can use an olive, and you want to get about 10 to 12 strands of this material. And what I do is I just go ahead and cut it off. I don't really stress about, I like the tips to be pretty even when I'm tying in, and I just leave it long. So you can see I have it kind of long back here, and I'm just going to pin that in on my vise and then wrap forward to where our wing is. And for my wing, I'm just going to use a little bit of this is just some coastal deer hair. You know, they make a comparadun hair. There's a number of hairs, but you just want a really nice fine hair with a good layer across here. When you look at your hair, you'll notice there's like a positive line of the materials here. That you can see there's very little under fluff. It's very fine, very soft fibered deer hair. There's all different types. I like this. It gives it a nice flare, and it's just not too doesn't create a ton of bulk on your patterns. So I get a pinch, and my pinch is about, I know people like to take pencils and stuff like that, but it's about 1/8 of an inch in diameter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in a hair stacker. You can see here. Give it some nice firm stacks. When you get done, you might have a few stragglers. You just want those guys out of there. It's kind of important. So what I do is I'll transition my hair, and I want to go about 2 hook gaps for my wing. So I'm going to take 2 light wraps, and then I'm just going to pull straight down. And once I have that done, you'll notice not too far back on the shank there, I do want to move that up just a hair. This fly has a little bit of a forebody, if you will. So I'm going to cut that really short, and what I'll do is I go ahead and wrap through all of these butt ends, which are what we've cut off, and I'm just going to create a taper with that, and that's going to end up being our body taper. And I didn't actually take my body all the way back to where I wanted it to start, so I moved back to the end of the fly here, and this is just a super fine dubbing assortment. There's the dry fly dub. I picked this up from Hairline, and there's just a color, as you can see, blue wing olive. You know, you're going to get a whole assortment in here, and you really don't need much. You can see I just have this tiny little pinch of material here. So I'm going to go ahead and I just dub this onto my thread, making a dubbing noodle, and I like to keep it real fine, as you can see at the back. The reason I do that is it's going to allow me to, you know, taper forward on the body, and betas are going to have a really fine body progressing to a really small abdomen. And if it starts to unravel, I just give it another quick twist, And we go ahead and move in front here. And this is a real easy pattern. Not a lot to it. We wrap up here. And we'll go ahead. I use my hands for a whip finish. I don't use a tool. Probably from years of commercial tying and doing custom fly patterns. So I'm just going to do a single whip finish on here. And look at my wing flare. There's a little piece I don't like in here. There's a little with a flat tip. So I'm just going to cut that out. And I'm going to taper cut. So I'm going to cut at an angle my tail so it's not symmetrical. So when you look at the tail here, it's got a taper to it. Now your wing can splay out nicely. Notice nothing's on the bottom there. Everything's up top. And I'm going to use just a tiny touch of UV resin, just a drop for the head in lieu of a head cement. And there you go. Just a quick, little easy sparkle done. Great emerger pattern. Has the shuck hanging out of the back. You know, you could think of it as a cripple, and the trout really seem to turn on to that. A lot of times here where I live, I'll notice that the fish do not eat the mature dries, but typically only will eat the cripples because they see it as an easy meal. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll talk to you later.